It is Monday, July 6. Welcome to CGN News. Voters in the Dominican Republic braved a roaring coronavirus epidemic yesterday, Sunday, July 5, to cast their ballots for a new president and legislature of the Caribbean country. Early results give the opposition candidate, Luis Abinader, an unassailable lead. His two main rivals have conceded defeat, and the outgoing president has congratulated Abinader on his win. Abinader was seeking to end 16 years of unbroken rule by the center-left Dominican Liberation Party, whose candidate Gonzalo Castillo was running second in a six-man field according to pre-vote polls. Looming over the elections was a rapidly spreading epidemic, with polls opening the day after the number of new cases soared by more than 1,000, a one-day record in a country that has had 36,184 confirmed cases and 786 deaths from the disease. Outgoing President Danilo Medina, who could not seek another term under the country's constitution, was forced to impose a national lockdown, easing it only last week as parties made a final drive. The elections were supposed to have been held May 17, but were pushed back until Sunday, when election authorities said they would proceed, quote, come what may. Former Petrojam executives Floyd Grindley and Percival Bahado Singh could be extradited to Jamaica to face charges over their alleged roles in the company's messy saga after the initial attempt fizzled nearly 2 years ago. If the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, gets its way in another push to have them held accountable, they could be forced to return to Jamaica's shores. The saga, which began in late 2018, saw MOCA putting forward its case to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the ODPP, which ruled that the evidence was not strong enough to win over the authorities in the United States, where the men are reportedly based. A Sunday Gleaner report revealed that MOCA's Director General, Colonel Desmond Edward, is having ongoing dialogue with the DPP's office with a view to concluding the investigation. Grindley, who served as general manager at Petrojam, was axed in 2018, as well as Bahado Singh, who served as chairman. After months of lobbying, the United States has leveraged its leadership at the International Monetary Fund to provide $1.7 billion in new emergency funding for Caribbean countries as a direct response to COVID-19. Prime Minister Mia Mottley made the announcement on Friday during the 20th Special Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, which was held virtually as she demitted chairmanship of the Caribbean Community to Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The United States would support temporary access to the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development for COVID-19 related assistance for the Bahamas and Barbados, the two Caribbean graduates from the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. She said the emergency funding from the IMF was also expected to address the humanitarian and economic ramifications of the COVID-19 pandemic for the poorest countries in the region, and would see Dominica, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines also benefiting from assistance. Speaker of the Legislative Assembly in the Cayman Islands, Makiva Bush, denied charges of assault and being drunk and disorderly when he appeared via video link in court on Friday. The 65-year-old veteran politician is accused of beating up the bar manager at a bar in February. However, a trial date has not been set for the case because Bush's attorney is waiting on forensic analysis of CCTV footage. His attorney, Michael Alberga, told the court that the tapes have been sent to Miami for analysis. And given the circumstances caused by the health crisis there, he did not know when the analysis would be done. A case management hearing has been set for August 14, and Bush was bound over to return on that date. The politician has denied that he attacked a woman who was managing the bar on the night that he was said to have engaged in excessive drinking. Bush also denied being drunk at a licensed premises, using offensive language, and refusing to leave. Overseas now, Ghana's Deputy Trade and Industry Minister has been forced to resign for breaking coronavirus self-isolation restrictions after testing positive for COVID-19. Carlos Ahencora, who is also a member of parliament, had visited a voter registration center in his constituency in the city of Tema before completing his period of isolation. He said he adhered to social distancing rules, adding that he was asymptomatic. Some Ghanaians are calling for him to be prosecuted for breaching safety guidelines and endangering the lives of people. Ghana is compiling a new electoral roll ahead of elections in December. Rapper Kanye West claims he will be running for President of the United States, a move which would see him going up against Donald Trump. In a tweet, West wrote, quote, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision and building our future. I am running for President of the United States," end quote. For Kanye to run in the election, he would have to be registered with the Federal Election Commission, and according to a BBC online report, the closest name on the list is a candidate called, quote, "Kanye D's Nuts West," end quote, who filed their papers with the Green Party in 2015 under the address, quote, 1977 Gold Digger Avenue, Suite Jesus, end quote, and appears to have raised no money. This is not a first for the rapper where his ambition for the White House is concerned. In 2015, at the MTV Video Music Awards, he said he would run in 2020. Last November, he pushed back that ambition to the 2024 elections. His tweet would indicate he has had another change of mind. 3 United States police officers were sacked in Colorado for sharing photos which reenacted the chokehold used on 23-year-old Elijah McClain, who died last August after being stopped by police. Vanessa Wilson, acting police chief in Aurora, where the incident occurred, called the images a crime against humanity and decency. At a news conference, she said she was ashamed and sickened, as well as angry at the sharing of the images. Wilson also shared that while the allegations of the case are not criminal, they are a crime against humanity and decency, and for her to even think about doing such a thing is beyond comprehension, and it is reprehensible. Florida health officials say the state has reached a grim milestone. More than 200,000 people have tested positive for the novel coronavirus since the start of the outbreak. State statistics revealed Sunday show an additional 10,000 confirmed cases. The highest number of confirmed cases in one day came Saturday, when more than 11,400 cases were reported. More than 3,700 people have died. About 43% of the cases are in 3 counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez said Sunday on ABC News, this week, the high numbers of positive tests, both in his county and in the state, are extremely worrisome. Meanwhile, the United States recorded 39,379 new coronavirus cases in 24 hours, a tally by Johns Hopkins University showed Sunday. As infections continue to trend up around the country, the country's total number of cases now stands at 2,876,143. Sunday is the 4th consecutive day of surging numbers of new infections, including a high of 57,683 on Friday. The United States is the hardest hit country in the global pandemic, both in caseload and deaths. Florida's death count is the 9th highest in the country overall. Baltimore protesters pulled down a statue of Christopher Columbus and threw it into the city's inner harbor on Saturday night. Demonstrators used ropes to topple the monument near the Little Italy neighborhood, news outlets reported. Protesters, mobilized by the death of George Floyd at the hands of police, have called for the removal of statues of Columbus, Confederate figures, and others. They say the Italian explorer is responsible for the genocide and exploitation of native peoples in the Americas. According to the Baltimore Sun, the statue was owned by the city and dedicated in 1984 by former Mayor William Donald Schaefer and President Ronald Reagan. A spokesman for Baltimore Mayor Bernard C. Jack Young told The Sun the toppling of the statue is a part of a national and global re-examination over monuments that may represent different things to different people. Hundreds of drones on Sunday lit up the night sky in the South Korean capital, Seoul, for a spectacular showcase of motivational and awareness messages as the fight against the coronavirus pandemic continues. 300 unmanned aerial vehicles were programmed to form images above the Han River on Saturday night, displaying messages of key precautionary measures including wearing masks, washing hands, and keeping physical distances. The 10-minute show shifted to messages of gratitude for medical personnel in the front lines of the pandemic, as well as all South Koreans for their collective efforts. To date, South Korea has reported 13,137 confirmed coronavirus cases and 284 related deaths. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.